shot making and positional play. The drill partner is perfect for you.
The drill partner is perfect for you. I love that voiceover. I need to get that guy for my voiceover.
We got to do the intro for the show. That's actually, he's got a good
Yeah, we
voice.
got to do it. Get that guy, the drill partner, have him say, Molina, Mike, and Joey Ryan coming to you live
I mean,
right now.
I got like Pee Wee Herman introducing the show right now. So, I mean, anything's better
You
than
talking
where
about
we're
me? You call me Pee Wee Herman? Isn't he like a sex offender, bro?
I
Come
didn't
on.
mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that, dude. Time out. Okay, let's hit end recording and then we can restart again. We
This
can
isn't
try.
a recording,
Yeah,
brother. It's
we can
live.
we can try
We're
take
out
two.
here. We got 20 people in here so far. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining us. Another episode of Dogging It. Man, I am just so excited to be here today. Today was the first day I really got to sink my teeth into these matches, and what awesome matches. I mean, just so much fun watching them. I'm sitting there, I'm holding the phone, I'm watching the TV, I'm in a group chat with Molina, Mike, and Pinozo, and we're, messing with each other. But great day so far. I want to just give a quick shout out our newest sponsor, Seybert. You see it right there at the top of the chat box. Let us know if you can hear us and see us okay. And guys, also please consider, if you like what we're doing, supporting us on Patreon. We need 10 more Patreon supporters, and we're giving away my old. When I say old, it's still nice. Lomax jump cue. Made a
You're a
lot of jump
horrible
shots with that
salesman.
thing.
Horrible salesman. We got Efren sign balls that are coming in. We'll be giving away to our Patreons as well, along with that Lomax jump cue. We got a ton of other memorabilia and stuff that I got here in the office. So we're going to find ways to give away if Joey ever does that. Which, by the way, you're supposed to give away that Texas Open thing also. So,
Oh
but it was a
yeah,
great
oh
day,
yeah. We
Joey.
have a
Lots of solid matchups. So I'm excited, man.
Molina, I'm keeping that Texas Open thing. Yeah, I was just telling my wife, you're always making fun of me that I have pictures of me behind me and no memorabilia like you. And I said, that's because Molina steals all the memorabilia. So,
Got all this stuff here, all the way around here, all the way around the office.
all right. The video is wrong. Hear you loud and clear. Unfortunately, the video is wrong too. I don't know what
I
that
don't know.
means.
I don't know what that
Let
means
us
either.
know, Rick Glasscock. Let us know what that means. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hey, let's start talking about this match. First of all, I have to set the stage. Every single time I'm kind of following Shane's progress through a tournament, I decide to tune into one of his matches. Like things instantly start going south, like instantly. And so I tuned in today. I want to say the score was 6-4, 5-3, something like that. But anyway, it gets to 6-4 in his match against Duong. And man, in that match at 6-4, Shane Van Boening made one of the nicest outs you will ever see. I mean, totally aggressive. He banks two balls in that rack. It was unreal. The second ball he banked, I didn't even think that ball would bank. It was so close to the rail. I thought it would be a double kiss. He banks that sucker right across. He gets out. When he gets out, I mean, I thought nobody's stopping it from here. So then he goes on a run from there. I think he goes up 9-6. And then at 9-6, scratches on the break. Unfortunate kiss on that. Man, it was terrible. But then Duong takes advantage, comes back. Shane has his chance in the last rack. Already used his extension. It's Hill Hill. He's already used his extension. And Duong played a nice safety, and Shane basically just has to kind of take a flyer and doesn't get safe, and Duong runs out. Looking smooth, Duong Kwak Hong. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, the guy, that was one thing that I took away from his previous match was that he he's always going to be in it because of the ease in which he ran out and the way he was having success with the break. He faded Shane's comeback and found himself in a hole. Like you said, midway through the match. Excuse me. Um, Midway through the match, he showed his class. That's funny, by Ray. He showed he showed his class at the end, but he did get a little, he got a little lucky there. The jump bank comes to mind. Also, the bank shot when he gets hooked behind the eight ball with the two ball as well. Shane played a bit of an aggressive shot there at that last rack, trying to play the carom. It seemed very low percentage, but at the end, he did what he needed to do. Very strong performance by Kwok. You got to like him in the next match after beating Shane and the match he had prior. But boy, the guy. You know what I liked about him? It was his disposition. He was smiling. He looked very light. didn't seem to fade the emotion of it. Um, yeah, it was real easy to root for that guy.
Okay, so when Shane went on his run, he goes up 9-6. It did not look like he was going to lose from there. He wasn't missing balls. He was playing perfect. And then he has that break. The cue ball kind of scoots back. Cue ball does his normal thing across the way and then kind of starts tracking towards the top of the table and glances off a ball and goes in the corner. I mean, how brutal of a way to lose is that? Are we getting to the point someday that maybe the break shot is not really going to be in the game of pool anymore? Because at some point you got to say, man, to see that game decided off a cue ball glancing, and you could make the argument that no, Shane had a chance after that. He didn't make a good save or a nice shot on that ball where he was saved in the Hill game, but everybody knew he was going to win. If he ends up with a shot on the one ball or the two ball in that last rack, everybody knows he's going to win that, right? So
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's about holding your nerves and in the moment making good decisions. So Shane with that with that loose carom shot cost him the game. I know Kwok almost hung like I think it was a three ball
oh
early
my
on
God, that
in
was so
that one.
sick.
Oh god! And Shane just kind of like sunk in his chair. He knew that was it.
What did I
Um,
message you when that happened? You
I don't
remember?
know. I quit reading your messages after what you
I,
changed my name to.
Hey,
By the
as
way.
soon as that happened, I shot you a message and said buckets. We all know they're not
Oh
buckets,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah,
looked
yeah,
like
yeah.
it on that, right? The ticka, 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 and then loop. I was like, oh, that's so sick. But Shane Van Boening, defending champion, out. Congratulations to Duong Quoc Hung. He's playing well. He's winning matches. He's doing what he needs to do. Um, Looking pretty good. In fact, he was my sleeper pick last night when we did sleeper picks, and so I feel pretty good about that. I still like seeing American left in the field, but I
Never,
like his
never
chances from
mind
here.
the fact that you picked Shane to be in the finals. Let's
I
let's not
That's called
let's not
hedging.
forget let's
It's
not
called
forget that.
hedging your
Yeah, I
bets.
know, I know.
All right, moving on to the next match. Another one that I forecasted. Let's just call me Nostradamus. Wu Kun Lin knocks off Max Lechner. Molina, I'm surprised you're even on this podcast right now and you're not like finding some way to console yourself, getting a massage or a pedicure, because Max Lechner is now out of this event. I wasn't rooting for it, but I do like to see you agonize.
You don't understand, you guys, the messages I get when my horses go out. First, I gotta fade trolls on the page because they'll message me. Then I gotta fade trolls who have my cell phone number, i.e., Joey Ryan and Mike Pinozzo, who's dodging us right now. Every time one of my picks goes out, everyone always seems to remember how to get in contact with me. But yes, Max is out. Wu Kun Lin is a killer of killers. Those Taiwanese players all play. Um, just deep and are extremely tough to fade, no matter the game, or at least when it comes to rotation. I mean, what are you going to say, man? Max put up a good fight. In the end, he came up short. Great run by Max.
Good
I said
run.
before, he's always been in this spot in a lot of events where he's in that 16-8 range, and then kind of tapers off. Um, I still expect him to see great things from Max. This year and in the next couple of years. It's all about progress, Joe. Taking steps in your career. Came up a little short this time, but I'm always going to be rooting for Max. That's for sure.
I kind of feel like in this round of eight matchup that if all things were equal before this event, I would probably pick Wu, but it looks like Hong's actually playing a little bit better in this event, or at least Hong's playing great in this event. He seems to be on a roll, so uh, I think that's really a pick 'em. I don't know what
Well,
you go with that one.
I feel like if you can, they always call it the trap game after, you know, after you come off
Good point.
after you come off a big emotional win. So let's see how he can hold it together from a caliber standpoint. Shane for me would have been a favorite over Wu. So after he beats Shane, you got to like his chances against Wu Kun Lin. I doubt he's taking him for granted, but I tell you what, with the way he ran balls and the way his break was working, his decision making. Uh, his safety play was very underrated as well. I'm with you. I like Kwok to go through.
He was very relaxed in that match. I thought, even under a considerable amount of pressure, even when he got down, uh, I liked his demeanor at the table. It's going to be an interesting matchup, and I think you're right. You got to watch out for the letdown here. But if he wins this match, I mean, there's no telling, he could probably go the whole way. So let's go down to the next set. This was an interesting matchup. Sebastian Batkowski. If I asked, so you have what, 18,000 followers on Windows Open?
No, it's up to almost 23,000 now.
Wow. Okay, 23,000. If I asked all 23,000, pick the last Polish player standing in the World Championship, who would have picked Sebastian Batkowski?
Maybe his mama. That probably would have been the.
She doesn't follow your page. But if she did. Anyway, nobody would have picked him. Let's just face it. And he ends up getting knocked off, last player standing from Poland, to Mohamed Soufi. And I tell you what, this was an interesting match. They kept cutting into it, and I was checking it out. Did you catch any of that match? Did you see Soufi play?
I didn't.
Oh my gosh, this guy thinks he's in a speed pool tournament. He forgot this is the World Championship. He thinks it's speed pool. Okay, he'll take a minute to stand there and assess the table and look at things. But when he gets down, he's down. It's like lock and load. Boom, 1 or 2 practice strokes, fire the ball in, and that's kind of neat to see. You know, it shows extreme confidence. Although when he was on 10, he had a rack where he's running out. Should have won it, I think 10-8, 10-9, and just kind of got the nerves. His nerves got under him a little bit, and he had one of those quick fire moments and missed the ball and gave Sebastian a chance. But Hill makes a nice out, wins 11-10. At some point in this match, I think these guys missed the 9 ball, like two times each, or one missed it twice and one missed it once. And so you could tell this stage was a little big for them. And I think that's going to be a key factor in this next match, because Albin Ocean gets past Nagaki 11-3, and Albin looks like he's on cruise control right now. And so you have to like Albin in that next round, that round of 8 match. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Albin celebrated Shane going down more than anyone. I heard him clapping from over here in Texas. So that top side of the bracket sets himself up to be very good for Albin. You got to like his chances against Sophie. I don't know what history they have. Jim's saying he's out of Germany, and Albin doesn't play very many Euro tours. So, like I said, I don't know what kind of history, if any, that those two have playing each other. Obviously, you're going to be playing well if you're in this spot, but Albin is not giving you a whole lot of chances at the table or breaking opportunities from his score lines the last few rounds. So if you're not going to fade a 11-9 win over Albin, because Albin's going to make your ass sit down for a little bit, what it looks like. So you got to really like Albin's chances to get through the next couple rounds.
Yeah, it looks like Jim Telfer's saying that I guess perhaps the word for Soufi might be streaky. Like when things are going good, he's on fire, and when things are not going so good, the wheels could come off. But it'd be interesting if you're Soufi at this point in the tournament. I mean, you've made it this far. I'm sorry.
You're free rolling.
Yeah, you're totally free rolling. I would say just pin your ears back and go for, be super aggressive and just try to make a statement here. And if you get up 5-1, 5-2 on Albin Ocean, then Albin starts to tighten up a little, perhaps. Although, he is Albin Ocean, so we'll see what happens. But if I'm Soufi, I'm just firing at everything.
This is like a 16 seed versus a 1 seed. You made it to the dance. You got in because you won your regional tournament, and now you got a chance to shock the world here. Albin is a number 1 player. Don't make no bones about it. So
I tell you what, Mike, when you have one of those players, when you have one of those players that gets down and fires so quickly and is hitting balls center of the pocket and playing well like that, it just shows that they have a lot of talent, right? Not many people can get down and shoot that quickly and that accurately. And so maybe he's uncorked something here. Maybe Soufi's going to shock the world. Let's see. I'm looking forward to that match, because the more I get to see that guy play, the more I like him. Carl Boyes was like, this guy likes to go after it. And then he's like, he must have missed his bus or something, or I don't know. It was just funny. Carl, Carl. Okay, so Niels is up right now. He's up 4-1 on Alexa. We talked about Niels in our question of the day. Guys, if you're not supporting on Patreon and you'd like to, we have all different tiers for folks. Every day on Patreon, we put up a question of the day. You can join at patreon.com/doggingit. So we're putting tons of content out there just for our Patreon supporters. And the other day we talked about Niels Feijen Thorsten Holman and Mika Immonen, at this stage of their career, could one of them advance and win a tournament like this? And let's just say Molina Mike said yes. I said probably not. But Niels is getting close. If he wins this match, he's on to the final 8. So looking pretty good right there.
Without a doubt.
Next matchup was really, I think, other than the Shane matchup, probably the best matchup of this round, which was John Morra against Mario He. I remember you messaging me. I was watching the Shane match, and you're messaging me like Morra might run the set out from here. And I want to say it was at that point he might have been on 7 or something. What a match! Oh, we got a visitor. Hi.
She was fighting with her sister. Say hi, baby.
Oh no, she looks sad. But yeah, Morra in that match, I thought Morra was poised to win that match. He was looking like he was in good shape. Mario just stuck with it though. And you know what? At Hill, he came with some shots. I want to say it was a 6 ball. He was kind of jacked up and he stabbed it down the rail. I mean, that's the kind of shot right there that no regular mortal is going to make in that situation.
Shout out to Shout out to Morra for what was to me the best match of the tournament. Morra showed just tough shot after tough shot. That was one of the sickest endings to a match that I've seen in quite some time. When Mario banks that ball off 2 rails and makes it in on the side, I think that was to force Hill. It was pretty gross. Even that the way that Hill went was pretty ridiculous. But Morra showed that his break was on point. His mental toughness was up there with anybody on earth. It was like tough shot after tough shot, clutch, pinpoint position. In the end, he came up a little short, overrunning a ball when he had a chance. It's kind of gross how it ended up, and then Mario back cuts that ball and then runs out for the set. But I picked Mario to win it all, but I tell you what, I did not want to see John lose because John showed a lot in that match. I mean, he showed his, where he's at right now. I very much took him for granted in this matchup. I thought Mario was gonna, cakewalk through this round, but boy, that was if you didn't get to see the match, it was unbelievable. Just incredible performance by both players.
Yeah, I think this event was a statement event for Morra. I think it kind of proves not just to the rest of us, but to him as well, that he can win one of these events. I mean, he's getting to that point. We know he switched hands, and now it seems like he's playing even better now than he did when he was playing the other way. And this match, I do feel for him because of the slop. Who pointed it out? Lenny Richard points it out, the 6 ball, that Mario slopped in. But you know what? One of the hardest things in pool to do as a player, I'll share this because I know you're not a player, Mike. One of the hardest things to do in pool is to slop a ball in and then keep your composure and actually make difficult shots after that, right? Because in the back of your mind, there's almost like a guilt factor. Like, do I really even deserve this? At least I struggle with that sometimes. And so, but the true killers like Mario He bear down and say, you know what? I did slop a ball in, but I've had people do that to me before. I'm going to bear down and I'm going to drill these balls and pocket them in and get out. And he did that. He did that. He came with some really great shots.
He did. I mean, there was a 6 ball that Mario drew where he's jacked up over the 7 ball, full table and just hit it. It wasn't pure. It wasn't the purest of shots, but it went down and he got shape. I mean, it was very masterful by both players, not just from a shot making standpoint, but from a nerve standpoint. It was an incredible match. I did, Joey always says like the PC thing or the diplomatic thing. I want both guys to do well. I never am like that. I really wanted it. Like, it was no loser there. It's unfortunate John went out in this round, but he could have easily kept on going had the matchup been a little different. And yes, I'm 100% with Del Sim. It's like for the last 4 years I've been hearing about John switching hands. Like, it's
just so remarkable. But Del, I promise you're calling me out. You're holding me to task. I promise, Del, I'll never say it again. But I'll say it one more time. It's amazing. Okay, done. We're never going to talk about John Morra switching hands. It never happened. Okay.
It happened, but we've exhausted it, I feel like.
Yeah, no, it's a good point though, Del. Chang advances over your boy Victor 11-7. That one was too early for me. I wasn't able to make that match.
I saw a little bit of it. Victor went up early. I want to say something like 3 or 4 to 1. Chang does what Chang does, but I want to say Victor gave him some chances, and Chang took advantage of it. The scoreline what I believe was around 9-7, and I had gotten up after falling back to sleep. I didn't get to watch see what happened, but at the end, the guy who a lot of people pegged as one of the favorites coming into this event, and I'm sure a lot of the Polish fans were hanging their hats on, comes up a little short. You can't take a whole lot away from it. We know Chang's class. We know his caliber. We know he's a winner. He's won the International Open amongst a few other titles in his career. The guy's just a monster through and through. Yeah, it's tough, man.
And
But
I guess in
congratulations, Chang.
fairness, I said earlier in fairness that Sebastian was the last Polish player standing. In fairness, Victor went out at the same time, except it just happened earlier. So uh, two Polish players had advanced. And then in the final matchup of the round of 16, Dennis Graube tied 6-6 with FSR. So Dennis is really hanging in there. He's been playing well in this event. I think you and I both expected FSR to kind of pull ahead in this match, and right now it's knotted up at 6.
I didn't just expect FSR to pull away from it. I expect domination by Fran because we've seen that over the last few matches. And I'll be honest, I haven't watched Dennis hit a ball in this tournament. I don't believe, or if it was, maybe just 2 balls, but it ain't been much. And he was up 6-4 on Francisco. Now it's tied 6-6. They're in a safety battle right now. I mean, this is like everybody's watching it. And one person in particular who's watching it, Chang and Albin, are both watching it because um, everybody knows that Fran is just extremely dangerous. He's probably the favorite right now, left out of the 8, and being in a close matchup. I don't know if Dennis can hold it together, but at 6-6, you're in about as good a spot as you can ask for. You
Yeah.
just better make sure you buckle down because in a blink of an eye, Fran can hit you with 3 or 4, like that. So
Well, I think if you give both players, if you said to both players, hey, instead of starting 0-0, you could start 6-6 in this match, Dennis would probably say okay, and Fran would probably say no because he's expect to be ahead.
right.
And so for Dennis to be at 6-6 right now, he's in striking distance. He's got to feel pretty good about that. But this might be that match for FSR. We talked about it before in one of these long tournaments. You tend to have a match where maybe you squeak by or maybe you don't have your best stuff, kind of like a pitcher coming out of the bullpen or whatever, and you find a way to get it done. And this might be, if Fram wins this match like 11-10, 11-9, this might be that match that propels him to be able to take the whole thing.
Well,
So look,
it's not going to get any easier though, Joe, because you got Chang Jun Lin waiting for you. So but this will give you the confidence. That's for sure.
so that would be a really marquee matchup with Chang and FSR if we see that in the next round. Um, let's just say we do. Who you like there?
Uh, you know, if it wasn't a matchroom event, I would take I would take Chang, but it is a matchroom event, and I know I've seen it with Francisco over the last year. I haven't seen it with Chang, so not on that stage, not under those lights, not under those conditions. So I'm going to stick with the obvious pick. I'm going to the Joey Ryan special here, so I would take Francisco if it gets there. We'll see.
Hey, let's tell everybody it was Hill in the Shane match, right? And you and I are messaging, and you're like, "This is
Oh
time
God.
for Joey to say something obvious." And I said, "I think whoever takes this next game's got a good chance to win this match."
That's exactly what he said. At 10-10, he says, "I think whoever wins whoever wins this rack has a good chance at getting to the next round or some shit like that." It was unbelievable.
Oh, anyway, I know I picked FSR from the beginning. I've been picking him a lot lately because he's been performing. But man, that match against Chang would be epic. Not counting Dennis out, Dennis can still get there. I would like Chang over Dennis, but Chang and FSR pick them for me. So going with that. And
Yeah,
by the way, remember Chang had that match in the round of 64 when he was, he faded defeat. He was, I think his
should
opponent
have
was on
lost.
the hill. I don't remember who that was. Let me see.
It
Go
was
back.
Hunter, and then you had another
Oh,
one. I
Hunter
think.
Lombardo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let me stop dogging it with the brackets. Oh, you're not even seeing the brackets. I forgot I wasn't sharing the brackets.
Good job,
Uh,
buddy.
yeah. So we got Mario. He's going to face, looking more and more like Niels. Niels is up 6-1 now on Alexa. Um,
Yep.
I know you picked Mario to go the whole way, so I guess you're liking him in that matchup.
Wow, Dennis just missed an easy ball. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna get off Mario, not just because he's my horse, but because of just what I've seen from Mario over the last year and a half. Um, Niels, you can't argue, what he's accomplished, and this is a great run for him. If he's up 6-1, you got to imagine, without me watching, you got to imagine that he's getting his break tuned in. So that's always going to make him dangerous. And of course, just because of who he is, right? He's been there, way more times than Mario has. So, but I'd still go with Mario today. I
So,
would.
kind of forecasting the quarterfinal here from that bottom half of the bracket. It looks like you're going with FSR and Mario He.
Yeah, well, yeah. I would,
Yeah.
I would. And then I mean, you're still gonna like Francisco no matter what. Like Francisco's gonna be at worst case even money against anybody for the rest of the event. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I'm gonna pick Niels. I'm gonna if Niels continues on this pace, what he's showing against Alexa, I'm gonna pick him over Mario He, and I'll pick FSR in the bottom part of that quarterfinal there. And then we talked a little bit about Salfi and Albin Ocean. I think both of us like Albin in that match, although I'm gonna have a fun time watching that match because just the way Salfi plays. And then I think we both like Duong Kwak Hong against Wu
yeah,
Kunlun.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I'd say so. Yeah, but I
yes.
mean, just the way he played against Shane, it just he checked off too many boxes, and like I said, it's just a matter of if that emotional letdown is gonna be there. So
So we're writing this down. So Molina's got Duong and who was that? Let's see. Duong
and
and
Albin.
Albin. And then on the bottom side, he's got Mario and FSR. And I have I'm gonna take I'll take Duong and I'll take Albin, and then I'll take the only difference is I'm gonna take Niels and FSR. All right. Well, there you have it, folks.
It's
We
it's 7-6. Francisco's taking the lead now, but he just scratched on the break. So, Dennis just had a 4 ball that he missed. We'll see if he can hold it
can,
together.
can we
Um,
talk about the break a little bit?
yeah, sure.
Um, so one of the things, like I'm gonna keep going back to the Shane match. She's so cute. I'm gonna keep going back to the Shane match because he did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. He gets up 9-6
I
on
mean,
him.
that carom shot was a little was
Okay,
loose.
okay. Before the carom shot is what I'm talking about. He's up 9-6. He's on a roll. He's pocketing balls. He's doing well. Okay. He breaks the balls because of the format, because of the way the break is. You got to have the cue ball, and it tends to get hit by something and goes somewhere, right? Cue ball flies up the table and just ricochets off a ball and scratches in the corner. I'm not loving that. I understand the challenges with the break and how you have to do something different so these guys don't pocket the corner ball every time. But there was something about like a 10-ball break where you park the cue ball and control the cue ball in the middle of the table. To me, that shows an element of skill where these matches are decided by skill and not some unlucky roll like that. Thoughts?
I mean, you have elements like that in all sports. If you come up short on a 4th and 1, or a missed call, or if baseball, if the ball just goes right outside the line for a foul ball, or doesn't, there's just pick a sport in tennis, right? If when they show the replay, it's just outside. You have those close moments. It's lucky or unfortunate. If the ball clips the net and barely goes. I mean, you can just pick a sport, and you're gonna have luck or some rolls play a factor in it. Um, Number one, they're never going to eliminate the break. That's I don't know where you came up with that ridiculous idea. But number two, it's part of it. It's part of it. It's sports, man. You know.
Yeah. Hey, Jim Monday. Sorry about that, man. We're doing our best here. Sometimes it's tough to get all that in and talk about the content that we want to talk about. But let's go back to your comment here, Jim. I think this is an interesting comment talking about the Canadian players. Yeah. John Morra and Alex. We talked early on about Stephen Holm. We were hoping that he would do pretty well in this event. great player from Canada. But Alex and John certainly held their own in this event. What are your thoughts about overall just the performance put in by the Canadian players?
Heart, you know, not just, oh, it's a great story. What Alex did for the first couple of days stole the event. What John did today was, I mean, incredible.
Phenomenal.
The best performance in a loss I've ever seen, probably. I mean, like, close. Like, it's easily top 3 to 5. He just played that jam up from beginning to end, shot after shot after shot. Um, yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. I don't like the idea of them coming on for the Mosconi Cup. I'd rather go make your own 5 and then let's dance. Or on the other side of it, make an argument in a World Cup of pool first. Make an argument. I think maybe they've gone like 2 or 3 rounds deep in the World Cup of pool before. There's always expectations with those two. Now,
Yeah.
this year, because of the way both of them are playing, this year I'm going to be especially keeping an eye on how Team Canada is going to be looking come the World Cup. If they were to play tomorrow, you got to really like their chances, just like you would, let's say Poland or the Philippines, or I probably would like them more than, maybe not more than the Americans, but it'd be close, because John and Alex are both playing great right now. Um, but yeah, I mean, what are you going to do, man? One rule that I would like, and this is on a different subject, is I don't want to see guys get rewarded for hooking themselves. So I would like to see maybe that you can't jump the ball.
Yes.
If you hook yourself. I know Darren Appleton had first mentioned that some years back, and we hope Darren's doing well. But there was like that shot with Huang when he's behind the 8 ball and he hooks himself on the 2. He made a great jump shot, but if he's not allowed to use the jump stick, that might be one thing to consider. But
Yes.
yeah, I don't want to change the game either. So I don't know.
You've heard people talk about that for a long time, and I mean, I think there's no real argument against that from my perspective. I think if you hook yourself, you kind of deserve what you get, right? And it's the sickest thing where you hook yourself, you pull out a jump cue, you pocket a ball, and you keep on going. I think that maybe we should consider that rule and restrict the jump cue on that particular shot. One other thing that came up when we were talking about the break, I think Richie France from Maryland brought this up. Uh, just the arbitrary nature of the warning. Like I saw Guac get a warning against Shane about, hey, if you don't start breaking the balls harder, I'm going to call a foul, ball in hand foul. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, does he understand English? Does he even know this? Is he going to like break the balls and get, penalized here for not breaking hard enough? And what is hard enough? I mean, at this point in civilization, we have, oh no, here it goes again, Mike. Sorry. Let me,
Grabe just hung an 8 ball, and the wheels may be coming off the tracks when it comes to Dennis Grabe. It's 8-6 now in favor of Francisco. Um, I've seen this video before. Once Dennis starts missing a couple balls, it can really just fall apart real quick. So just something to keep an eye on. But yeah, you're right, Joe. What you were saying as well, for sure.
well, yeah, I mean, it's arbitrary right now, right? And we saw the video that Lil Chris made yesterday about, the other match where people were warned about the break shot. We have technology now. You could put, a jugs gun or something on it and say, hey, your break has to be 19 miles per hour, whatever it is. But right now, just to have this arbitrary notion, and even when this referee warned Kwok in that match, you heard Carl Boyce say it didn't seem like he broke the ball soft there, but So I just think they need to figure something out. By the way, are they going to use the template all the way through, Mike? Because now
They are.
it used to be that they wouldn't use the template once they got down to like the final 16. Now they're using a template, which I'm fine with. I like the template better than a person racking because sometimes you get slugged, but they're going to use it the whole way. Is that true?
Yeah, throughout the whole event. So, which I think is great. At least you have somewhat consistency. Um, yeah, the break being hard enough is just very, very arbitrary, to say the least. I know there's other guys, especially as the event dwindles down. There's other guys that are around. Maybe they can kind of like get together in private versus the referee on the floor addressing it. Don't just have it be one person's opinion. Which maybe the other guys that are in the background can kind of make that call and then decide. Um, there just seems to be no rhyme or reason for it. Now, I don't want to go back to the 3-point rule. And I saw a comment by Federer on another post where Federer saying this is why you should have 3-point rule. I don't think that works.
Yeah.
I don't think it works for audiences outside of diehard pool fans who are going to understand, well, he just made a ball in the break. Why is he giving it up? So that part I don't agree with. But right now, the way they're addressing it, and especially like you brought up how she addressed, Kwok. Number one, like you said, there's no way to know whether or not he understood what she was saying. Number
Right.
two, it's a real easy way to put someone on tilt when
Right.
if you're the only one who agrees that, is that fair for the guy who's taking it, right?
Right.
So because I didn't think that he was hitting them soft. There are guys who I do think hit them soft, or who have more finesse in their break because they want to control a lot more. But we saw Alex kind of use it to get better. We saw that video obviously that was circled around. It's just it's tough. It's tough,
Right.
but I don't
Well,
think
Ed Ladawi points out here that WPBA rules state 4 balls to a rail, but we know that recently Matchroom kind of broke away from WPA, so I don't think they're going to be following any of their rules by any means.
Well, but this is a WPA sanctioned event, though. This one is
true because the World Championship.
the
That's
World
a good point.
Yeah, but they're still tinkering with things. So we'll see how long it lasts or what changes they make with it.
Here's kind of the thing I think, Mike, that I think is important. That depending on, like you look at baseball, if you look at a pitcher's delivery, sometimes a delivery makes it look like the ball's coming in harder than what it is. So a pitcher might have a wild and crazy delivery, and the same way in pool, if a player breaks like a Jeff DeLuna and raises his leg up and jumps off the floor, then everybody just assumes he's smashing the balls. And so just the deliveries that you see of the players could impact the perception of how hard they're hitting the break, because the ones we've seen called in this event are all, to us look like they were hard breaks, like what we would classify as a hard break.
Yeah, and you bring up pitchers, and that's an interesting analogy because, if a ball gets away from you, if let's say there's a history with the team, right? A ball gets away from a pitcher, they may say you're headhunting. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. My daughter just going crazy over here. Sorry. She's having a ball.
She's excited. She's excited about the World Championship.
She is.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So anyway, I'd love to see somebody go and break down the breaks from this event and maybe use some AI and be able to show that the times people were warned, they were breaking, not soft or not as soft as other breaks where they weren't warned. Just the arbitrary nature of it. Something needs to change there. So we'll see. Maybe if they just had some kind of technology that had a threshold, right, and a little alarm went off, if somebody didn't break 22 miles per hour or whatever they need to see. I don't know. Just a thought. Anyway, It looks like No Tina Mike updates us 8-1 Niels now. Man, Niels is cruising right now. He must be really feeling good out there under those conditions.
Yeah. What are you going to do, man? If you're up 8-1 against anyone, and if he's controlling the break, again, I'm not watching, but if he's controlling the break, I mean, he could beat anyone. So,
yeah. All right. Well, hey, look, guys, we'll let you get back to the match. Niels is playing right now. Who else is playing? I forgot.
It's 8-7 Grabe. I'm sorry, 8-7 Francisco against Grabe. So Grabe is breaking the balls right now. So I want to get back to watching. I got to put this monkey to go do something to wear her out because she's all over the place. Say bye, baby.
Bye.
We'll
say dogging it. Soon. Say dogging it.
She can't hear you, donkey. I got my.
Oh, tell her. Yeah, tell her. You're right there.
Dogging it. She said it.
Say thanks for watching.
Say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.